Well, hello. Good morning, my people. How y'all doing out there in cowboy land? Welcome to Willpower Sports. Um, Thanks for joining in. Please subscribe. I bring you cowboy content the most I can, whenever I can. I will be in Detroit next weekend, the 26th, 27th, 28th. I will be there broadcasting live, and I will be there picking up all the information, getting all the information I can get from anyone I see that has anything to do with the Cowboys. I'll be trying to get information, all right? So stay tuned and make sure you tune in next weekend because I'll be all on it, all right? Along with a lot of other bloggers and pundits, and we'll all be there getting all the information. Um, Welcome to the fan cave and enjoy your stay while you're here. Um, I want to get into something today. I'm looking at the Cowboys contracts and I'm looking at Ceedee Lamb, all right? And Ceedee Lamb is a good receiver. No disrespect to him. I'm gonna say some things, but remember what I said. It's no disrespect. He is a great receiver. He's probably top 10 easily in the NFL, top 10. I am a Cowboy fan, wholeheartedly. Been one since I've been 5 years old. Um, I do want to say one thing though. Um, I'm gonna bring up the elephant in the room. $30 million. $30 million. Um, I'm not sure about that. I'm not. The Eagles just gave Devontae Smith $75 million for 3 years. So that's an average, I guess, of $25 million if you do good arithmetic. You know, I don't know what's guaranteed or what's not, but it's around that amount. But anyway, CeeDee Lamb, $30 million. I can't see it. Um, Throughout the history of the NFL, wide receivers have been some sort of divas, all right, especially nowadays. Um, I don't like to pay a wide receiver that much money because history tells us they really don't win Super Bowls. Um, and I did some research on it and I searched it and I said, maybe we should think about, I hate to say it, trading CeeDee Lamb. Because we definitely can't trade Dak Prescott and we can't trade Parsons. All right. So I think our option would be to trade CeeDee Lamb not because his chemistry with Dak is great. His chemistry is great. His attitude is great. He doesn't get in trouble. He's an upstanding citizen. But $30 million plus per year, I don't think he's worth it. I think we can get a $20 million receiver and a $10 million receiver, or spread the money some other way. That's what I think. And then some of you are going to say, well, who are you going to get? You can find a couple really good wide receivers, really good, for $30 million. You can pay them 15 a piece. You can pay, like I said, 20 and 10. You can increase the offensive line. You can have, as long as you have speed and size at wide receiver, you'll be okay. But you need both. You can't just have one or the other. But like I said, in the history of the NFL, there's only been a few great top end wide receivers that have actually won Super Bowls. And you kind of got to go back 30 years ago to Jerry Rice, Michael Irvin. I mean, if you go back there, you'll see a couple here and there sprinkled in. But a lot of these great receivers didn't win Super Bowls. Some of them made it to Super Bowls, but did not win them. For example, Randy Moss, Larry Fitzgerald, Terrell Owens made it to a Super Bowl, did not win it. And then you have some that didn't even sniff a Super Bowl, like Calvin Johnson, Tim Brown, let me think, Andre Johnson, Chris Carter. Andre Reed went to 4 and lost all 4 of them. Steve Smith, Carolina Panthers. Steve Largent made it to I think he made it to one AFC championship game. He was a 7-time Pro Bowler. Steve Largent, one of the most underrated wide receivers in the history of the NFL. Yeah, I said it. Very underrated. I used to watch him back in the day. So anyway, now we have these wide receivers who are very, arrogant, cocky. They're a little narcissistic. They think they're worth all of this money. But like I said, if you look at the history of the NFL, the greatest wide receivers, excluding Jerry Rice, Michael Irvin. There's been a few that have won. Don't get me wrong. There's been some that have won, but the percentages are very low on paying someone $20, $30 million and you win a Super Bowl. I think most recently, Tyreek Hill has done it with Kansas City, but he wasn't at top scale. He wasn't making that money. I believe he was still not making what he's making now for the Miami Dolphins. And also, Antonio Brown did it kind of at the end of his career, but he needed Tom Brady. So look at this, seriously, look at this. I want you guys to comment on this, all right? Because $30 million for Ceedee Lamb when our team needs so much more. Well, I'm not gonna say so much more, but we can definitely add into what we have. And nowadays, even the receivers that are playing, the ones that are currently on the NFL, like the Keenan Allens, the Amari Coopers, the Justin Jeffersons. Did you hear me? Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams. There are some really good wide receivers. DJ Metcalf is a great receiver. Debo has made it to a Super Bowl, but lost. Brandon Ayuk made it to a Super Bowl, but lost. A.J. Brown, but lost. So what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? We have to be realistic in what we're doing here, all right, Cowboys? And us Cowboy fans, you know, we're all gun-ho. Yeah, sign Ceedee, sign Ceedee. I don't know, man. I don't know. Odds are, I'm just going by the odds. The odds tell me we're better off building the team and getting some really good wide receivers and not a really, 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 really good one at $30 million. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of depth on the offensive line and on the defensive line, because we all know defenses win Super Bowls. So let's check ourselves, Cowboy fans. When we're going through this thing with Dak and Ceedee and Parsons, we need Dak, we need Parsons. That's for sure. But teams have won without great wide receivers, without the greatest. I'm not saying they're not good, but the greatest wide receivers on the planet today, most of them have not won anything. That's just what it is. Stephon Diggs for the Buffalo Bills. He's been with Josh Allen for 4 or 5 years or whatever it is. Don't quote me on the exact time, but he's been with him for multiple years and he's never won a Super Bowl. He's never even been to a Super Bowl. Stephon Diggs, one of the best route runners in the NFL. Let's keep it a buck. He's a great wide receiver. Sometimes he has a little attitude problem, you know, but regardless, he's a great wide receiver. He hasn't even been to one. So what are we doing? I'm just giving you facts. Like I said, my show, the bottom line is the facts are the facts. Ceedee Lamb, $30 million. I don't see it. I'm sorry, I don't see it. And like I said, no disrespect, he is a great wide receiver. I just wish we would spend our money somewhere else and go out and get some really good wide receivers and maybe a couple young wide receivers and keep our tight ends stout. Because that's what's important. Those tight ends, having 2 or 3 tight ends, they're stout. They are. They have to be really good. And you can have, I'm not saying average wide receivers. I'm just saying good wide receivers, very good wide receivers, a couple really fast, couple really strong, and some really good tight ends and a good running game. And we can do that. We'll have more success. And if the NFL history tells us you'll have more success that way. Like, just really look at it. You will have more success that way. So, Jerry, you probably won't get this video, but if you did, if you happen to be sitting in your car or sitting at home and you stumble across it, I wouldn't pay Ceedee 30. I wouldn't do it, even though he's a fan favorite. He's a good dude. He has chemistry with Dak. There's a lot of good things about him. But I believe if we want to win a Super Bowl after 30 years, we have to go in a different direction, all right? Michael Irvin and Jerry Rice, those were almost anomalies. You know, it's very infrequent that happens. They were on really good teams. Both the teams Jerry Rice and Michael Irvin was on was stacked. Let's keep it a buck. That's what it was. They were stacked. So There's a lot of other wide receivers that, I could be missing. But right now, this current wide receiver cycle, the Debo Samuels, and the DeAndre Hopkins is another one. I mean, just never won a Super Bowl. It's just perplexing when you really think about it. And they keep paying them all this money for no success. That's just what it is. I mean, that Super Bowl last year, the Niners versus the Chiefs, we all know who had the best wide receivers on the field by far. All right, the Philadelphia Eagles. The San Francisco 49ers. Debo Samuel is very good, very versatile. Brandon Ayuk, he's an up-and-coming wide receiver. He's a really good number 2, in my opinion. And we know that the Chiefs had average wide receiver play all year long. And they just beat the Niners. So you got to really look at things and evaluate and think what's best for your team. Wide receiver, Ceedee Lamb, $30 million. Nah, not a good idea, bro. Not a good idea. I know a lot of Cowboy fans don't want to hear that. I'd rather go out and get a stud linebacker. 2 of them. $15 million apiece. Give me 2 stud linebackers. Or a technique. Give me something. Give me something that's going to strengthen the team. Ceedee Lamb is good. No disrespect. That's all I want to say today. I just want you guys to think about it. Put it in the comment section. Maybe somebody can see it, and let's try and, have some faith in what the Cowboys are doing. Hopefully, they won't pay this man $30 million. I hope they don't. If they pay him $30 million and pay Micah $30 million, we're going to have a problem. We do, because you got to have a quarterback no matter what. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, if someone's not behind center that knows what they're doing, it's going to be a problem. I don't care what else is going on the team. Dak Prescott, the 4. That's what we're going to call him, the 4. All right? The 4 has to be back there or somebody else. I prefer the 4. That's who I prefer. He deserves it. He's going to win a Super Bowl in Dallas. I don't know how, but somehow, some way, I just have to have the faith that it's going to happen. And right now, I think we really should think about not paying a wide receiver $30 million when evidence suggests it's not very smart. The evidence suggests it's not very smart. All right, thank you for tuning in to the Will Power Show. This is Will from the Fan Cave. You can check me out periodically, maybe twice a day. Please join in. Hit subscribe because the channel is growing. We're trying to get more people in here. We're going to do some interviewing next week when we're in Detroit. We're going to try to meet some players and, just get around and try to get the news on the Cowboys and the Redskins, the Eagles, the Giants. Try to find out what's going on, what we stand at, And I'll talk to you soon. And thanks again. And how about them Cowboys?